Seth, this is a blog post on your blog, sethmuse.com. And so just set us up. What was the thing that triggered this conversation for you? What created the need to create this blog post for you?
Well, I mean, I've just seen it a lot. These conversations are happening in like communication Facebook groups and on Instagram. And I'm just seeing a lot of the same conversation happen over and over again. And for me, just the way I'm wired, I like to step back and go, what is really going on here in the big picture? What are we really struggling with? And as I start to, figure out like, okay, what would I struggle with? What would, other communicators I'm friends with that I talk to, what do they struggle with? And it seemed to be like there's this overarching theme that like when you go to the conferences, you go to that church conference, you go to Engage conference or whatever, and you hear all this great stuff as a communicator, and then they come back and you go, we're not gonna be able to do any of that because there's others in leadership that don't know or don't get or don't believe or didn't hear what we heard and what we believe, what we think. It's like a completely different mindset that's forming by going to these conferences and hearing professionals and hearing people that are having success and going, man, we could do that. We could totally do that. And then you go back and there's somebody there, whether it's a senior leader or somebody else, and you feel like you're being blocked. And so, it's really easy to go, man, senior leaders, what's wrong with those guys? What's wrong with those people? But ultimately the issue is that I think there is a conversation that needs to happen, because as communication professionals learn and grow in this field of how this could work for our church and really improve what we do as a church to meet those same goals that the senior leader wants, the senior leader is not hearing that. They're not getting that. And they're not, and if they are, it's like, it's so not what they're really called to, like they're not called to, optimizing a website. They're called to reaching people and talking to people, teaching the Bible and ministering to people. And communication professionals really want to have them be able to do that. But there's a, part of what we do that is that. And I think we're not talking about that and seeing each other as partners in that. It's just a real mess. It's a real mess right now, because as communication professionals get better and try to take off in one direction, I think to senior leaders, it feels like someone running away with their church, or it feels like someone doing something that's not authorized, or it feels like someone is taking control, or putting a lot of stock and money and time and effort and resources, manpower into something that for me, I don't ever use it. What does it matter? Things like that. There's just not a conversation. And then what that feels like is that senior leaders are just blocking everything. They don't care. And that's not true. So there's just no conversation really happening between your communication, marketing professional and your church that can truly help your church. And the senior leader whose main concern is vision, values, ministry, and could care less about Instagram. They don't post on it. They don't like it. In fact, with all the stuff that's happening in the news, they're scared of it. And so that conversation is, I just know it's like, I'm hearing, because I'm in both these worlds, I'm hearing both sides of this conversation and going, man, it would be really great if we just talk to each other about this.
Right.
It's like it's communication 101. Like, what's the first step to really reconciling any kind of issues or problems or whatever? It's you talk. You talk about it with the people you need to talk about it with. So that's kind of what sparked the blog, is like, I just want to get a conversation started that something is happening. I see a pattern, and I lived through the first pattern I mentioned in the blog, but then it's looking like the same thing, and I don't want that to happen again.